Abhijit, Sarvendra.
Very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Ready.
A very good morning to all present here today in the launching ceremony of Saahas Kolkata chapter. Saahas is an entrepreneurship cell of IIHM, a brainchild of Dr. Suborno Bose, the chairman and chief mentor of IIHM. Saahas, a proactive entrepreneurship cell where students of IIHM will be encouraged and guided to become entrepreneurs. It's an initiative to create entrepreneurs among our IIHM students. With our 27 years of experience, we have seen that there are many students who wants to become entrepreneurs, wants to do something of their own. And we have also seen that many of our IHM students have become successful entrepreneurs. They're not only doing some business in India, they're doing business in different parts of the world also. We have successful entrepreneurs in UK, Canada, Australia, and India. And we have seen there are so many students, they want to do something of their own, but they are not guided. So Saahas was created to guide them, guide these entrepreneurs. And we always felt that as educators, we as mentees need to understand the entrepreneurial skills amongst our students. Saahas is created to proactively guide them, hold their hands, and get them introduced to big entrepreneurs. The Saahas shell will be available at all 10 IIHM campuses across India. Now I would like to call upon Vishal. Vishal, please request Dr. Bose to open the Calcutta chapter of IHM, Saahas IHM, and please introduce the entrepreneurs present here today. Thank you. Over to Vishal.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A very, very, very good morning to all our listeners, all our viewers, all our respected, eminent advisory board members, all our dear students from across Pan India. Indeed, it is a historic day today, and our chief mentor, Dr. Suborno Bose, is yet to launch, is about to launch yet another historic initiative only and only for the students of IIHM. History has exposed the different initiatives. History has shown us what so far we have achieved or what so far we have done for the students of IIHM. But even today, this initiative, which is called Saahas, is completely a new version, a new dynamics, which will change the industry and probably which will change many, many, many futures in upcoming time. Without wasting much of time, it is the time to invite our chief mentor, Dr. Suborno Bose, to officially launch this new great initiative, Saahas by IIHM. Over to you, Dr. Bose.
Yeah, thank you, Vishal, and very good morning to all the people who are associated with IIHM, and very special welcome to the Calcutta chapter Advisory Board member, my very close friend for years, Raju Bharat, Sarvendra Sarkar, who is one of my very, very proud alumni, who has been one of the biggest hotel name in the country, and of course Abhijit Bose. We were in the school together actually, so very, very old association, and he had been an absolutely fantastic hotelier all over his life. So, and of course we have got Anjan Chatterjee, who might be joining at any moment. He's right now in another Zoom with somebody and will jump in. And we have got Paul Walsh with us, who will also come and join in. So a very warm welcome for the Calcutta chapter. And on 15th of June, yesterday, we created the Sahas Dibas. The Sahas Dibas is like the birthday of Sahas in a way, and I think it was actually an initiative which we were thinking for a long time, but this initiative actually came during the times of C-19 crisis, where the industry is very badly affected, and we thought that this is also a great opportunity to create the breed of entrepreneurs across our 10 campus cities. But then again, Calcutta being our headquarter and being the city where we belong to, it's always very close to our heart. And to be honest, we didn't have too many of entrepreneurs coming from Calcutta. So this is again another very proactive initiative from the House of IHM to do this pan-India Sahas launch and to foster the spirit of entrepreneurship. So to put it short, Sahas is not a statement. I'll say that it's not even a venture. It is not even a venture, but it's much more than that. It's a commitment. Sahas isn't a promise. Sahas is a dream. Sahas is a commitment from all of us, from the entire team IHM all over India with our 8,000 students and 600 faculty and staff members, to get the students the culture of the dare to do, the culture of doing something, that get the student into that spirit of entrepreneurship, and to celebrate the spirit of entrepreneurship, where there would be risk, yes, where there would be excitement, and there would be a lot of freedom to play around. So Sahas is not just a dream, it's much more than a dream. Today, I'm so happy as we launched our Kolkata chapter, such a privilege and honor that Sahas has become a reality. Sahas means courage. And when we talk about encourage, we put an extra E in the courage part of encourage, and we put it encourage. And that is what Sahas is. Sahas is a courage to make something happen. Sahas is a courage to make our students self-reliant. Sahas is a commitment where we want to create thousands of entrepreneurs, many, micro, big, small, who will be self-reliant and who can really rule the hospitality industry in their own terms, just as a lot of our students in the past have done. In fact, today we have one of the example of our alumni from IAM, Sarvendra, who is an entrepreneur himself. We have got another student from IAM called Sandeep Gupta, who is making waves in Hong Kong, owning more than 35 restaurants. And there are hundreds of our alumni who are actually into entrepreneurship, but these are trying times. These are challenging times. And these are the time when we want to convert the challenge into an opportunity. And that's the reason Sahas has come from sleep. Sahas has come from the sun to the earth, and Sahas is something that we are committed with. So to start Sahas, we have put in 1 crore of a fund, the Sahas fund, which we created. This is just a corpus fund of 1 crore, and in next 1 year time, this 1 crore would be escalated to 5 crore. So we would be having a 5 crore corpus for Sahas. Out of the 5 crore, 1 crore is already in reality working, yesterday already been established. And with this 5 crore fund, we would like to have an external funding of another 20 crore. So we are looking at a 25 crore Sahas fund, which will be used for the student for funding their startups, for setting up their startup, and then we have got an advisory board, and we have got a couple of other guys also from finance, and we will spend some time with them, mentoring them, hand-holding them, telling them the tips of the business, and also helping them to get the funding and in the best possible way. In fact, entrepreneurship is one area which has been grossly neglected in most of the business schools and the hotel schools. But now we want to bring Sahas in the front, because I always tell that even if you ask a hospitality graduate to fill up a simple bank loan form, he will not be able to succeed possibly. Possibly 8 out of 10 graduate do not know how to fill up a simple financial institution bank loan form, because we have never taught them. We have taught them so much of overdose of law, management, and F&B that we have forgotten that the basics. I think we have to come back to the ground reality and also create the new breed of youngsters who have got the courage to do something of their own. And that's what Sahas is all about. Sahas is dare to do. Sahas is a commitment, and we stand by this commitment. So thank you very much for joining us in this lovely, rainy, wet Calcutta morning. And welcome all of you. My special thanks to all the advisory board members who are there and who will be joining. And so with that, the Calcutta chapter of Sahas is now our reality. Over to you, Vishal.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bose. Thank you for your motivational words. I think it is one of the best news we have heard in 2020 when it comes to encouraging your own students, encouraging your own kids from across Pan India. Let me introduce these legends who are with us this morning, some leading examples of entrepreneurship, and we will get to hear them one by one. We will try to extract maximum knowledge from them in this short span of time. With us this morning, the advisory board members are Mr. Raju Bharat, the owner of Kenilworth Hotels and Resorts, Mr. Anindo Palit, the director of Savaritz Hospitality Private Limited. We also have our very own Mr. Sarbendu Sarkar, the managing director and the founder of Signet Hotels, Mr. Abhijit Bose, hospitality consultant and ex-president, Vedic Village Spa and Resorts. Mr. Anjan Chatterjee might join in along with Mr. Paul Walls. So we will start with the first generation entrepreneur. A very good morning to Mr. Raju Bharat, the owner of Kenilworth Hotels and Resorts. Sir, very good morning to you. And trust me, all the students along with us, we are very excited to hear your views, your thoughts on entrepreneurship for this young generation. And also we would love to hear a little bit of your story, which will motivate all of us, all these students, and probably they will see a new phase of life. Over to you, Mr. Raju Bharat. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you and good morning to all of you. And first, let me congratulate Dr. Bose. He's a visionary, and it's always a pleasure to listen to him and to hear his new ideas. And he's always one step ahead. So once again, congratulations, Subarno, to your entire team. And I think you've started a great initiative. So just to keep it brief, because I wanted to hear from Subarno the whole idea about what was behind this initiative. So I think it's come at a very good time. And I think that, again, I'll compliment Subarno that he has launched it at the right time. Why I say this is that, firstly, our Prime Minister is looking at Make in India very aggressively. And I think all of us are now inward looking rather than outward looking. And we need entrepreneurs in India. We need businesses, we need startups, we need investment coming into India in a huge way. And this is the right time. I think, Subarno, you started this initiative. And I'm sure with time and hand-holding and with all your good intentions and your team's intentions, many entrepreneurs will be coming out of this initiative. So it's a great start. And the second thing which I feel is also very conducive to this new initiative is the fact that there's a huge disruption in the hospitality and tourism business, huge disruption. So you need fresh minds to re-engineer, to reimagine the new tourism, the new normal, as we keep on quoting the new normal. You need new minds. Most of us older hoteliers, including myself, are stuck in the past and saying, keep on complaining about the change that's happened, this disruption that's happened, and saying that, oh, the business has no future, the industry is going down, should we look at some other industry? But it's the young people, and that's something which is normal for people who have been doing it for the last 50 years in the same way, or the last 25 years. But it's the new generation that needs, and they are fresh, and they would come with new ideas and new ways of organizing the new tourism, which the world will be seeing soon. So I think these two factors play a very important part. One is the local India Prime Minister aggressive push, and the second is the massive disruption that we are going through. So these are very conducive. It's the right time, I think, with the fresh ideas which will come out from entrepreneurs, young people, not entrepreneurs, young people would definitely, and today I feel compared to during our time, it's so easy to start businesses, with the digital world. You can see that how businesses are created, and most of the businesses today are created digitally. They're connecting the world, and the entire valuation game and the connectivity is completely different to what we did. So we had very difficult periods when we set up. But today's generation has that great advantage. So they have a great advantage when it comes to setting up, becoming entrepreneurs and basically living their dreams. So these are some of the factors I feel which are very conducive. But my caution is, I've been an entrepreneur for many years myself. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. That's the first thing. And having an idea or having a knowledge or even a technical expertise is not sufficient or not enough to run a business or to be an entrepreneur. And I think that's where we advisory board members would actually come in, because we have to marry the technical knowledge or the idea with the business skills. Managing a business has a different mindset. And, we can talk about that later, but managing a business is a different skill, and it comes through experience. It comes through a different mindset. And this mindset, I think we need to be communicating to the young people. What is business and how is an entrepreneur successful? So I think this is important, where I think we would play a role. It's, as I said, it's very easy to have ideas, but as we see, 95% of the startups fail. It's only 3 or 4% succeed. So that's the ratio. So we have to be very careful. You can lose your money. You can become depressed sometimes if you don't know the right path in setting up a business. And it's, I think, important to have several years of experience before you jump into a business, because experience cannot be taught in books. It has to be learned on the shop floor and by running a business. So I think it's important to keep these factors in mind when it comes to setting up businesses, and to maybe partner. Maybe you have the energy, the skills, you have the knowledge, but you don't have that business mind. So it's important to partner with people who are business minded. So I think these were some of the thoughts I had, and I'm sure we'll hear from the other panelists, and also we can share later. So, but it's a great initiative, a great start. And I think I really wish all of you a lot of success. And I also feel that it would be an honor and a pleasure to contribute to this initiative. Thank you, Dr. Bose.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Raju Bharat.
I'll tell you some other time. I think we should hear other people's story.
No, but thank you. Thank you so much for your input. And trust me, we would love to hear your story. I'm sure it's going to change many, many lives around. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was Mr. Raju Bharat, the owner of the Kenilworth Hotel and Resorts, a first-generation entrepreneur and a legend who can speak, who can define the word entrepreneurship in himself. Moving on to our next speaker is Mr. Anindo Palit. He's the director of Savarits Hospitality Private Limited. And trust me, probably when it comes to the expansion, when it comes to taking business to a different level altogether, the planning required, I think he is the best man to define us and guide us on that path. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Anindo Palit. Over to you, Mr. Palit, and the students along with us are very, very keen to hear your input on this entire Sahas initiative and how this journey will take and fulfill the dreams of these youngsters. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar and good morning to everyone. First and foremost, let me congratulate Mr. Bose and the entire team for such a great initiative. A special good morning to Mr. Abhijit Bose, who was my ex-boss. I was very glad to see that he's here. So I started after working for 5 years in the industry. We decided to start our own business. And believe me, nobody in the near vicinity in my family had ever done business. Like a typical Bengali family, my family was, my father was an engineer. All around, I was surrounded by engineers and doctors. In fact, when I joined hotel management at those times, there was a bit of a frown on everybody's face. So doing business was something very, very new to me. And the first time, what I realized about business was when I was in the second year, and there was this friend of my father who had come to our house, and it was his daughter's wedding. And, in Bengalis, you have this particular thing called Ashirvad. So he said that he's thinking of doing the Ashirvad and he wants to do something new. And he just doesn't have any idea what to do. So I blurted out that, why don't I do it for you? We'll do it like you have the Marwaris doing a Sajan goat. So we'll do it in all silver thalis and all. Everybody will sit together. And I said, I'll do it for you. So he said, yes, you can do it for me. Tell me how much is it going to cost? And I was stunned and I had no reply because I had practically no idea how much it would cost. So that's the time I realized that to do any kind of business, first you have to know what are your costs, what are your expenses. So anyway, I said that, okay, I'll do it at whatever the cost is. I'll do it at that cost. And that was our first entrepreneurial venture. When Mr. Bose invited me for this session, I just jotted down a few points. And I must say that in business, there are two things needed. One, of course, is the desire, and the other is funds. But very rightly, as Mr. Bose said, and in college, and in our 3 years of college, we study everything from wines to nutrition and everything, but nothing to do with entrepreneurship. As he very rightly said, that even most of the students wouldn't be even able to fill up a bank loan form. So I jotted down a few things. The first thing which, and all these things come from experience, the first thing which I learned was that whether you start off as maybe a sole proprietorship, a partnership, or a private limited company, but the easiest thing which comes to mind when 2 or 3 people start a business is a partnership. So you make a partnership deed, and generally at that point of time, you're more keen on the business and the business prospects and all these things. And you really don't worry about these small nitty-gritty details. So you tell somebody, and that lawyer, whoever it is, maybe a small-time lawyer, because we can't afford big lawyers at that stage, copies somebody else's partnership deed and starts off. And later on in our business, we had 4 partners. And when one partner decided to leave, we realized how important it is to do a proper partnership deed. So that's my first advice to all the young entrepreneurs, that when you start off, be sure that you do the proper paperwork, whether it's a partnership deed, whether it's a private limited company, the memorandum of association, do it correctly, and be sure to discuss about the exit clause. Now we come to IIHM and how it can contribute to the entrepreneurship per se. Of course, funding is a very important opportunity which you are giving to your youngsters, to your students. But over and above that, I felt there are a few subjects which we could include. One was, what are the different avenues for hospitality, for a hospitality profession to go into entrepreneurship? That should be one. And when we talk about that, of late, a few things which we never discuss, and today, as Mr. Bharat very rightly said, with entire the hospitality business changing, we are looking to one aspect for all restaurateurs is food packaging, food delivery. And there we come to a very important part of our industry, which is connected, but we don't study much about it, is food processing. Food processing and food packaging is a huge industry, and there is tremendous entrepreneurial opportunities in that sector. Then, as he very rightly said, the digital platform, and I guess the youngsters can teach us a few things about the digital platform. But today, that is the future, the digital platform. But very important about is, even though we had accounts as a subject when we were in college, but we never used to really bother much because we were more interested in F&B service or whether it's kitchen. But accounts, if you're doing entrepreneurship, accounts is something very, very important. Like when we started business, people started throwing us very alien words like EBITDA. What is EBITDA? And later we understood that if you are going to do business, you need to know how to read a balance sheet. You need to know about profit and loss statements, income expenditure statements, which of course were taught to us. I won't say they weren't taught to us, but then it was taught in a very bookish way. So accounts is again a very, very important aspect that if you want to do entrepreneurship, because the technical part we are already taking care. As Mr. Bose very rightly said, that we have loads of inputs as much as far as the food, the wines, and all these things are concerned. Then other small things like human resource. Then how do you start a business? That is the statutory licenses, whether it's a trade license, the fire license, ESI, PF, all these things. How does one go about budgeting? How do one do budgets? What are the reports which is required in an organization? And very importantly, if you have to raise capital, what are the different ways of raising capital? Do you go the debt route? Do you go the equity route? What is venture financing, which people talk about? How does the whole thing work? So these are small areas which I feel we could think about when we talk about entrepreneurship. Then other things like, as of now, governments, there are many sectors which governments give aids, but we are not aware of anything. Nobody knows in which areas government do funding and all that. Then last but not the least, small things like how do you make a project report? If you approach a bank for a loan, how do you make a project report? So these small things also would help. So I think there is a lot of, as everybody rightly, Mr. Bharat also rightly said, this is the best time to encourage entrepreneurs. And I welcome this initiative, and I hope I can be of much use, and my services are welcome all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Palit. It was indeed wonderful listening to you, and trust me, probably students will get to understand and students will get to feel different aspect of entrepreneurship altogether. Just to recap what Mr. Palit was explaining to our students, it's all about getting your facts and figures in place, which is very important. You must understand your business. Desire and passion is the key, along with the fund indeed, which is very much needed to run a business. And before planning, before doing anything, get your paperwork in place. Understand your paperwork. This is just for all the students here. You must also explore different avenues of hospitality entrepreneurship. Do your research work, do your R&D. That's what Mr. Palit is mainly focusing on. And definitely the subject knowledge is the key, be it the finance, be it the legal aspect, or your paperwork. I think thank you so much, Mr. Palit, for exposing these aspects to our students. I'm sure it will be a great benefit to them. Moving on to the next young entrepreneur who has probably changed the face of hospitality industry in India, coming from our very own IAM, Mr. Subbendu Sarkar, the founder and managing director of Signet Hotels. Trust me, probably he will enlighten all our students, will probably a new technique or new strategies of entrepreneurship altogether. Over to you, Mr. Sarkar, and we are very, very, very glad to have you with us this morning. To you.
Thank you, Vishal. And at the outset, I must congratulate and thank you, Dr. Bose, for his incredible initiative to launch Saahos for the young, aspiring leader of IIHM. This is no college is doing today's world. It's a great initiative. So now I love to share my experience, and I have worked more than 20 years in all the global hotel brand. I never thought I want to come to hospitality business. See, I did schooling from the RK Mission. All of my batchmates used to think about the IIT or doctors. Other than they don't have any dream. I was the only odd man out. So I never thought, after pass out, then I was confused what I have to do. Then I asked my parents to advise me what to do. They asked me to finish your first graduation, and then whatever you like, you do it. Then I studied economics and finished up my graduation from Calcutta University. And after that, I was looking for something to do professional course. And some of my friends advised me, what do you do for a hospitality management? You will have a global career. So then at the time, I saw the ad in the Telegraph IIM. There is no IIHM, and I was not knowing about IIHM, also National Council about that. Then I took the admission for the IIM, and I finished up my hospitality education. From 1994, I started my career with IHG as a management trainee. From there, I have worked more than 20 years. In between, I took some break and gone for a Cornell study for executive education. And when I was working with the last assignment, the Lupre Hotel as a regional director, Southeast Asia, I was entire Southeast Asia market looking after. And then before that, I was the dream. I want to do something myself, my own. Never thought to work for forever my life. So 2009 onwards, I was actively working with the some of the hospitality chain to bring in India as a joint venture. Like I tried for European chain, the American chain. One of the chain called La Quinta Hotel in America. They were the 9th largest hotel company at the time. And have more than 1,000 hotels. Out of that, 850 hotel asset owned by them. And Blackstone, they are funding and the major shareholder company. So they came to India. I make the stay to Oberoi Hotel. There is a Reiki. They're very excited to launch in Indian market. I'll be there Indian, but end of the day they backed out. And I saw this something. I lost my dream. And what to do? I sit back and start thinking what to do. I quit my job. And then I decided, at the time, I will not go back for a job. I want to do my, own. Then I form a Signet Hotels and Resort. And from there, last, 2014, I'll formally launch in India. And within 6 years, I have a 40 hotel in India and Nepal. Now we are coming a hotel in Sri Lanka and Indonesia also. That my entrepreneurship journey. But I would like to address more precisely about entrepreneurship, what is my R&D study and experience to young aspiring the talent of IIHM. See, according to me, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the idea converting it to a job and wealth, but what makes the entrepreneur successful? When I was working, initially beginning, I had a dream. I want to be an entrepreneur. But that time I used to, the thought in my mind that it takes me a special kind of person to be an entrepreneur, or even a more special of kind person to be a successful entrepreneur. But what makes the entrepreneur successful? Why do some people get, top and they succeed and some other failure? The same kind of similar business. But after this experience today, I can express you, I can share with you my, my experience. There is a 7 important thing to be a successful entrepreneur. First, I think, is a entrepreneur mindset, which is very, very important. What does it mean, the mindset? Mindset is conviction. Mindset is passion. Mindset is risk-taking capability. Mindset is self-belief and dare to do things. These are the mindset of entrepreneur. The first important thing, the mindset. looking into the successful entrepreneur, like Richard Branson, I used to study on that at the time a lot. Steve Jobs. I think their success, if you do their study, their passion and their mindset. Then second, I would say the application of talent. Entrepreneurship, if you look much like a talent, but having a talent is not enough. It is knowing how to use the talent to your advantage, having the courage and the drive down through with even the craziest idea, and probably most of all, really hard work. Then third is your innovative idea and differentiator. How your idea is the best, how your idea is the cost effective, how your idea is unique than others, how your product and service are different than other, what you are going to do. You have to create your own USP. That's the one. Then fourth, the market acceptance. Market is ready to accept your product and service. What you are going to do your business. Then fifth, I think, is a clear vision. If you don't have clarity on your vision, you will be confused after some time. You will not in the long run, you will not be success. And sixth is creating a great team. Whatever you do, if you can't create a good team, you will not be able to do that. So you have to collect your right team, and and not only that, you have to articulate your vision to your team. So then you will be seeing and they will deliver to you. And seven is leadership skill and value system. Entrepreneurship is otherwise a leadership. Your value system is how hard work you are doing it, how you are doing it. You have a no salary, 20 hours we are working. These are all you are ready to, how much you are ready to sacrifice. So these 7 attributes is required to be a successful entrepreneur. But above all, now is you require a fund investment. So if you have the 7 things, then your funds will not be a problem. You will get the fund. Like my time was no fund. It was a little difficult. Now today, if you have all these things, you can articulate your story. There are a lot of investor is available. You can get the fund. So that is all about the entrepreneur. But if you look at this today, the idea first has to come your dare to do it and the idea. Today, if you look at the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all are multi-billion-dollar corporation. That is only idea. But this idea may not be required always to be the multi-billion-dollar. You may do a small tea shop. I know like the tea stall, like tea chain called Chayosh and Tea Point. Chayosh, the founder is IIT and IIM. The MBA guy, he has started this tea chain, and he got 100 crore first time. His investment got the 100 crore, and he is setting up pan India and doing extremely well. So it is not the money is that people now in this generation, everybody asks where will you get the money. Money is come later. Before your mindset is required, your passion is required, your dare to do things is required. So, and then your purpose. End of the day, you are creating a job, you are creating a wealth in the long term. But you must be very, very passionate and ready to do, fulfill your dream. Your hard work behind it will speak to you. That's it all about.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sarkar. Let me make you smile a bit, and especially for all our students. Just quoting what you said, that you were confused till class 12th and you were not sure what to do. Correct. If a confused boy till class 12th can end up becoming Mr. Sarvendu Sarkar, trust me, every kid today would love to be confused till class 12th, So I think you are a true example of living your passion and creating history, and a real example for all these young students. Just a quick recap again what Mr. Sarkar said for all our dear students, and if you are taking your notes, please do not forget. Trust me, I sit with my diary and pen all the time. Do it. This is the historic opportunity for you. Mr. Sarkar was basically talking about the right mindset, the passion, the attitude one should carry. How to utilize your talent is again a very unique skill. Every second person is talented today. But how do you utilize your talent is the key. Try to create your own USP, be different from others, be different from the mass. Market acceptance is another important tool which you should understand better. Along with that, a clear vision, what you want to achieve in life, is something which Sahas is all about, to be honest with you. A great team, you always learn in college about, from the food fest to the Young Chef Olympiad to the Young Chef India School. We always work in a team and we try to achieve what we want to. Teamwork was something which Mr. Sarkar was focusing a lot on. And last but not the least is the leadership quality and the right value system. So I think these are the great points which we have learned from our senior, and trust me, today for the first time, I saw a teacher, I'm addressing Dr. Bose here, a teacher listening to his student with so much of attention and so much of passion. I think today he must be one of the proudest teacher in this webinar. So thank you so much, Mr. Sarkar, for your input. It was indeed very nice and very fruitful for our students. Moving on to the next speaker. Again, he is yet another first generation, probably entrepreneur, and who can teach, who can guide a lot of you young students. And he is none other than Mr. Abhijit Bose, the hospitality consultant and ex-president, Vedic Village Spa and Resorts. Over to you, sir, and we are eagerly waiting to hear your journey, your suggestion to all these future young entrepreneurs, and your input on this entire initiative of Dr. Subarna Bose Sahas. It's all about encouraging entrepreneurship. Over to you, Mr. Bose.
Thank you. Thank you for having me over on board. And congratulations, Dr. Bose, on this wonderful initiative that you've had, for amongst the many such initiatives that I keep reading about. So it's great to be on board, Sahas. Well, young boys and girls coming out of college wanting to become entrepreneurs, I think times have changed. In our times, I don't remember any of us even thinking of starting up our professional life as an entrepreneur after college. We were all looking forward to those 1, 2, 3 hotel chains which were there in the country at that point in time to join up. But I've never been an entrepreneur myself. I have always, not always would be wrong to say, but for a fairly long period of time in my life, I've been wanting to become an entrepreneur, but haven't managed yet. There's still time. But from a hospitality perspective, we always have looked up at entrepreneurs because they are the people who've actually managed to deliver to the society various things and various aspects of this particular vertical of hospitality, because they have the courage, they have the vision, they have the will, and they have the skills. I think Mr. Bharat and Anindo, it was good to see you and hear you speak, and Mr. Sarkar have summed it up all. They have mentioned various aspects of what it needs to be an entrepreneur. I would not really have much to add to that, except maybe one word, which is perseverance. Probably that is one of the important aspects of an entrepreneur, because a lot of people might get disheartened at failures at the beginning and might wind up. But if you do not persevere, and there are many such cases floating around in the market of people who persevered and become successful. So in one of my trips to Cornell, one of the professors had mentioned that an entrepreneur, or nobody actually, forget about an entrepreneur, nobody makes money on percentages. We keep showing our GDP percentage so and so in the as far as the country is concerned, our profit percentage so and so in the company concerned. But he said nobody makes money on percentages. It's the actual value of money which you earn for your company is what matters. So be focused. Young people, I think focus is not an issue at all. You learn as you go along. You need to ensure that that there are many times when you will do a hit and miss situation. Don't get worried about it. because there's always a second chance and a third chance, and you need to learn from your mistakes. But ideas are a galore. I mean, in today's world, with the kind of exposure that all of us get through the digital world, through various interactions that can happen on various platforms, I think ideas is something which are far more easily available to people than what they used to be when we started off. And skills, you have various ways of honing your skills in. We did not have so many opportunities when we were your age, but whoever managed to use the opportunities up have succeeded in whatever venture they've gone out to. But I think it's a large playing field today, and it's a wonderful playing field today. So it's good. It'll be a fantastic innings that if you really step onto the crease and want to bat your way through your life being an entrepreneur, it'll be a fabulous innings. It definitely will be. I really don't have much to add as far as an entrepreneur's perspective is concerned. I've always had to deliver the goods for the entrepreneur because I've been working in various organizations in the past. And operations is something which comes much more naturally to me. But that's a huge aspect of being an entrepreneur, how to become a good operational person and how to understand, as Ananda was talking about the various aspects of business, be it the paperwork, be it understanding the EBITDA or the PAT and so on and so forth. So these are things which one has to, and you have to understand as quickly as possible if you want to become an entrepreneur. But again, I think Mr. Bharat had said that a very small percentage of startups succeed, which is so true. It is not easy to be an entrepreneur, but one should, if you have the acumen, if you have the will, then you should go for it. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Abhijit. It was absolutely wonderful, to the point. And just to summarize it, his main word around his speech was perseverance. You know, it's all about going on even in your difficult times. But my dear students, I think you all are so blessed that you have such mentors on the advisory board here. But now, before we will, you know, it's a very auspicious day today, on the day of Dr. Bose's birthday. Let me remind all the viewers and our students also, the Sahas was launched officially, which was yesterday. So a very belated happy birthday to you, sir. And I think Sahas, we could not have found a better day to launch Sahas rather. So today, we will take one good advice from advisory members and a message for the IHM students. Just one advice and one message for all you students. We'll start with Mr. Raju Bharat. So one piece of advice from you, which these students will take back and probably they will sleep with it. And probably 3 years from now, they will come up in the market and they will become the young entrepreneur and the future of this country. Over to you, sir.
Well, you got me on the back foot, but I'll just, I can only say one thing is that it's about yourself. It's not about the world. It's about how you improve yourself every day. And that's what I try to practice is every day I see how can Raju be better. And there's so much to improve. We are always blaming the world, we're blaming the team, we're blaming the environment, the politicians, but it is all about yourself. Your dream, your vision, keep on perfecting it and becoming a better person. Keep on honing your own skills, strengthening yourself, seeing what you can do better, and do it properly. Really do a SWOT analysis about your own weaknesses, your strengths, and keep on working on your weaknesses. And you will keep on perfecting yourself. And that way, I think, not only will you become a better person, but you will contribute to your industry, to your family, to the world. So it's all about self-improvement, and there's no end to it. Whenever we talk about change, it's about ourselves. So be focused on yourself and keep changing and improving yourself. Be a better person every day than what you were yesterday. I think this is what comes to my mind at this moment.
I think the best came in crisis. I think one of the best, and such a remarkable message from Mr. Raju Bharat for all you lovely students. Moving on to Mr. Alindo Palit, sir, your message for the students of IIHM, not only in Calcutta, but across Pan India, because I think these are some remarkable things which we are learning on 16th June early morning, and probably this could have been the best what we could have heard. Over to you, sir.
So many people ask me, what's the right time to get into business? And frankly speaking, I really don't have any answer. There is no real right time. I would take one word from what Mr. Bose said, and that is something which is absolutely the crux of anything, whether it's entrepreneurship or anything which you do, and that is perseverance. And that is one of the most important things. But my message to all the students or anybody who would like to become an entrepreneur is, don't think too much, just jump in. If you think too much, you will never be able to do it. Just jump in. You will fall. There is no doubt about it. You will fall. And like, you have, when you're a child, the mother stops somebody from picking up the child when he falls so that he learns how to rise. And that's how it will happen. You'll fall, you'll fail, but you will definitely rise up. And we have got one big advantage. Lots of people take to the food business because that's something which is very near to them. I would like to get into a electronics business or a pharmaceutical business. I know nothing about it, but I know how to eat. So with that context in mind, everybody gets into the food business. I see a lot of people getting into the food business, but we hotel management graduates or we from the industry have one big advantage. We know our job. So we have the knowledge to back us up. So don't think too much, just jump in. That's my message.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Palit. Moving on to our own Mr. Sarbendu Sarkar. Sir, one message for your juniors, one message for your family, and we are all listening to you. Over to you, sir.
See, my advice would be, believe yourself and dare to do things, and you should not be worried about your failure. You should accept your failure and go ahead. So believe yourself and dare to do things.
Now I get to understand where the roots are. I think the trees are all coming out from that strong root which we have here. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend himself, Mr. Abhijit Bose. Sir, one piece of message you want to share with all the students of IIHM.
Well, I guess I'd say that you got to be true to yourself. Whatever is happening around you, whatever you want to do, you should know your limitations. You should know how far you can stretch yourself. So being true to oneself is something which always would help one in life, be it business or otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll go back to the man himself. Now we'll go to Dr. Bose. So what made you think of this Sahas and what are your visions about it? Your closing speech on Sahas, because we could not have asked for a better launch of this Kolkata chapter of Sahas, but your final verdict on this entire thing and where you see Sahas down the line.
Yeah, first of all, thanks to all of my friends here and who have been absolutely indebted for their time and for their such a great opportunity for all of us to learn from their life's example and life's experience. And I think nothing can really replace experience. Knowledge, skills are great, but I think nothing can really replace experience. And that's the reason we all are there, because as all of us spoke about the skill of the student, the talent, they know hotel management, Aninda was saying about the food business, but what possibly they lack is that experience. And what Mr. Bharat said, that there we come in as mentors and we try to give a little bit of our experience to them to make sure that the next generation of entrepreneurs coming out would be not, they might have great ideas, but also they need some experience to tread the path of success. I think Sahas, as I said in my start, is a very passionate dream. It's something that really something that is a dare to do project for all of us. And I'm sure that this project in this time is what we needed. And I think we're really going to push it very hard and try to make as many foray for the young people in the industry as possible. Obviously, all of my friends said in the advisory board were talking about their fantastic tech, and I quite like the failure. Everybody touched about a failure. I think that's very important for any entrepreneur to understand that the failure is feedback. So when you fail, it's a feedback. So you have to take failure as a feedback and not as a end of anything. It's just a feedback, and you know that you learn from a feedback and you just go ahead. So there is no point for any entrepreneur to get worried. Even just think about what Raju was saying about a SWOT analysis. Why I failed. So the feedback is that I failed. Why I failed. Let me work on that so that I don't fail next time. So I think in the life of entrepreneur, there are failure every moment, and we fight failure and convert the failure into success, just like we convert an adversary into profit. So I think when I was doing my CA, or just after I passed for CA, one of my seniors told me about we're having a discussion about business, and so he told me that what is business, what is entrepreneurship. So I still remember a couple of things you always remember from your school or college days, which carries till your last day. He said that when you convert an idea into an invoice, that's business. I still remember that, when you convert an idea into an invoice. So I think it is something which is the journey. I mean, an idea is a germination of a journey, and then through the process of the idea, through all the process that is required, which includes risk taking, which includes dare to do, which includes huge dose of passion and huge dose of commitment and focused. All this thing comes back when your invoice goes and the idea gets converted into a invoice. I think that's one of the lessons I learned very early in my life when I was 22 or 23. I think I still believe that we need to inculcate this experience to our students, that we need to really be absolutely hardworking. We have to understand, if a person in even a vice president or a general manager or CEO of a company works for 14 hours, we work for possibly 22 hours. Sarvendra will agree with me, Raju will agree with me. We work for 24 hours possibly. That's how. So you need to be prepared to work much more than when you are working in industry, because even when you are not working, you are working. It's not you are working with your hands. You are working with your mind. You're working with your brain. You're working with your ideas. You're working with your passion. It's like a big game of passion which you play for 24/7, 365 days in a year. So I think these are the ingredients which I think we need to get through our young generations, and tell them that the education and the skills are one part of it. So long time back, Gandhiji said something very interesting. I always remember that he said, literacy is not the end of education. Literacy is not the end of education. It is not even the beginning. So Gandhiji said, literacy is not the end of education. It's not even the beginning. So if you are a graduate or a hospitality graduate or an engineering graduate, you are literate. You are not essentially educated. Education comes from experience. Education comes from a passion. Education comes from falling down every time, getting up, falling down every time, getting up. And then you learn from everybody. No one in the world is useless. Sometimes we are very, we have got this academic arrogance that, well, I know everything. He doesn't know. Sharbendra was giving the example of a chaiwala as well, this IIT, IIM guy. But so we need to come out of that, you know, and see how great he's doing. So we need to come out of that academic arrogance. I am an IIT, IIM guy. Why should I sell tea? Prime Minister Modi sold tea. So we need to come out of that arrogance, that ego, absolutely no place. Those kind of mindset, those kind of dispassionate thing has absolutely no place if you want to be an entrepreneur. You need to be absolutely a man. One day you can be in a luxury car, and the same day evening you can be in your auto rickshaw sitting next to a driver. And you enjoy it. You don't complain about it. You come and tell your wife, you know what, I had great fun today. I was in a auto rickshaw sitting next to a driver. So unless you get into that kind of enjoying the business, I think Raju's told about fun as well. Unless you enjoy, it's very important. When I started very small, and when I started IIM, where Sharbendra studied, in a small 2-story building, people like Raju have seen it all. You know, I started with nothing actually. But as I speak here today, I think apart from luck, what really helped me or brought me here is that absolute love for what I do. You need to be absolute, you have to be in absolute love with anything we do. Whether it's a technology, you should be in love with technology. Whether it's hospitality, you should be in love with hospitality. It's like in your DNA inside. It should be outside. It's the way you carry yourself. If you're in hospitality, you know that when I need to wear a tie, I need to wear a tie. Whether I like it or don't like it, I'm going for a meeting and I will be appreciated with a tie. So it doesn't matter whether you're in a 48 degree or 52 degree hot, you still have to do that. I think that is one thing. It's very important, is that discipline. If I've got to meet somebody at 10, I am there at 9:55. I'm not at 10:01. I think that youngsters need to be told that the value of time, because there's one thing that really will not stop for any one of us, and that's time. And every time matters, every minute matters. And the discipline and the commitment towards a punctuality is something that will make a huge difference, huge difference. If you go to meet somebody big, and if you're before time, he will appreciate it. And if you come after time, as we always do, sometime do, then he will say, oh, that's an Indian culture. We need to come out of that typical culture, and the entrepreneur's culture is absolutely different. You need to be absolutely passionate, committed, and absolutely dedicated what you do. And yes, hard work before anything else and after anything else. Anybody who don't want to work hard, anybody want to get anything shortcut, maybe open an app or something and money should come tomorrow, absolute useless. They will never going to happen. You have to really put your 24 hours working hard, day in, day out, lock down, lock in, lock up, doesn't matter. You need to work really hard, and then, and only then, with some luck supporting you, you will be successful. So with that, again, I'd like to thank all of my friends in advisory committee and everybody in the team IHM, in the Calcutta chapter, as we very proudly launch Sahas in the year 2020 on 16th of June. It's launched yesterday, 15 June. and the 15th June is Sahas Divas. So I'd like to really come forward and make sure that the next generation gains a lot from all of us. Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bose. We could not have asked for a better launch of Sahas Kolkata edition. A big thank you to all the advisory board members, and I'm sure our students are taking back a lot of great inputs. They are live on Zoom, they are watching us on Facebook, they'll be watching us on YouTube. But so thank you so much for all your initiative. A big thank you to the entire IHM family members, all the faculty, senior management who joined us this morning in making the launch of Sahas Kolkata edition a great success. And a super big thank you to the real brand ambassadors of IIHM. That's the students of IIHM. Thank you, dear students, from joining in. I'm sure you had a wonderful time, and we are looking forward to see you in more responsible role and probably discussing with these legends with a cup of coffee about your new strategies soon. Wish you all the very best. God bless, and thank you so much for joining in. Signing off from Kolkata campus. This was Vishal. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day ahead. Stay safe. Do take care.